Welcome back to CHS Vinsiders, where we talk about all things inside the College of Health Sciences at VinUniversity. I am your host, Nyathui, and today we are joined by Zian, a first-year nursing student at VinUniversity. Welcome, Zian.
Thank you for having me.
Can you introduce a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Zian. I'm from America, specifically the state of Texas. My mom and we packed up all our stuff. We sold our house, sold our car. We sold so much stuff. Because coming here was kind of my friend. She came here in July, and she also goes here. Her name's Ashley. My mom was like, do you wanna come to Vietnam? Zion can go to school here. You can find an English teaching job. And my mom was like, yeah, sure. We have nothing keeping us here, nothing holding us down. And so she was like, Zion, we're moving to Vietnam. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Truthfully, nothing was keeping us in America because my mom had recently retired. So that's why we decided to move here. But so far it's been great. A lot of people told us we were crazy because we sold everything and just picked up and moved. But it's been a good experience so far.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I feel like you're having the true freedom from your country when you take a first step and decided to move to Vietnam to start a new chapter of your life. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
I'm so happy and so excited to see you here and have you at this interview. So I want to start with a fun question. Science. So if your experience at VinUniversity were an ice cream flavor, what would it be?
Ice cream flavor. I would have to go with, I think maybe Rocky Road ice cream. Rocky Road ice cream. So it's chocolate ice cream. So the richness of the chocolate is the richness of the school, I guess.
I see.
The richness of the culture, the Vietnamese culture. I love it. And then there's other things in Rocky Road ice cream, which is the marshmallow bits and then nuts. So the marshmallow is probably all of my vulnerable moments here so far. Being an international student, in a different country, obviously it has its challenges. So those are my softish kind of I feel so isolated. But then the nuts is me being strong and empowered by not only the people I'm surrounded by, but also just the atmosphere itself. Especially here at the university, it's very inclusive, very supportive, and the people here are so kind. And I think both the marshmallow and the nut balanced with the richness of the school and the culture is, I guess, how I would put my experience here so far. So yeah.
Right. Speaking of cultures, I wonder how has the transition been for you since the day you first moved to Vietnam or to the university from the US, and is there anything that you find helpful in making the transition progress for you?
I'd say in terms of transition, I guess the very first thing, leaving the airport, leaving the Vietnamese airport here, and going to my friend's house was a bit of a shock to me because driving in the car, I was like, why are they not driving in the lines? Because in America, everyone drives in the lines. Never have I ever seen someone not drive outside of lines. So I guess that was the first sort of culture shock to me. But besides the culture here, the first couple of weeks being here, I wasn't sensitive to the food or anything like that. So because I really love Asian cuisine, and I had always wanted to try pho. Pho was on my bucket list, and I was not gonna have cheap, disgusting American pho. So I was I'm gonna save myself until I come to Vietnam and eat here. and it was an amazing, phenomenal. Like, I have no issues with food here. I prefer food here than food in America over everything. But coming here culture wise, I think the people really helped me. Um, Especially here at VinUni. I had a lot of people come up to me, and I was super scared to go up to other people. So them coming up to me and just saying like, "Hey, my name is blah blah blah. Like, it's so nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you're here." It's just, it was
Me
so,
too.
it was so like, oh my goodness, like they came up to me and spoke to me like, what? It was really, I was shocked by that because you don't receive that in a lot of schools in America. Like, typically schools in America, like you just go to class, the teacher talks, you go home, do your homework. It's very just one, two, three. But like here, there's like some spice, there's like some pizzazz to it. And people, you can tell that they actually care for your well being. And yeah, it's made the transition coming here so much more better than I would have expected it to be.
Most of the time, do you receive lots of support from your students, or did CHS community supported you?
I would have to say it was a combination of both. So for the first part of the question, student support. I've had people come up to me in classes, and ask me like, "Hey, how do you find the curriculum? Like, can you understand it? Are you having any trouble understanding like the Vietnamese accent? Like, is there anything that I can help you with? Anything that I can help you take to higher ups, or just do you need help in general with like food outside?" Like, they took the extra step, not only of just asking me if I needed help in the classroom, but asking me like if I needed help getting around, or if I needed help like finding a bank or getting a SIM card. They were very supportive in that sense, just wanting to take care of me and make sure that I felt comfortable and at home here, which I appreciate so much. And like, I still get questions like, even though I've been here for 7 months now, I still get questions like that, which I think is really cool. And then CHS community. I get a lot of support from my peer advisors, my teachers, and the deans, and of course, David Bangsberg. Um, I get like emails sent to me sometimes, or they'll message me on Teams and be like, "Hey, like, haven't seen you around campus in a while. Like, is everything okay? Do you want to like meet up and talk about something?" Or I'll see them in passing, like in the halls of the university, and they'll just be like, "Hey, like, how are you doing? Are you adjusting well? Is there anything that you're having trouble with recently?" And anytime I've had like an issue with something, or I was confused, I would message them on Teams, or if I saw them in person, I would ask them for clarity, and they were always quick with a response. And it was always like a helpful response, not like a, "Oh, like, I don't really know, like maybe you'll have to go somewhere else for that answer." And even if they didn't know the answer, they would direct me to the correct person. So I would say, in terms of support, both the faculty of CHS and the student support system here were really helpful to me.
It's fantastic to hear about the support system in place.
Yeah.
And it does sound like a vibrant community
Mm.
indeed at VinUniversity. So I wonder how has this support system impacted your experience within the nursing program?
Mm. So going into choosing nursing as a major was not really something I wanted to do for sure. Now, I had always thought about doing something in the medical field itself, but I think I took like an extra leap of faith choosing nursing here. Um, I read about the nursing program on the website, and I was like, wow, this sounds really, really cool. It sounds different. And I'm a person who like enjoys change. So I was like, let me try it. And then like coming here, I was very nervous, very timid. And on top of that, I was like, oh my gosh, I chose nursing as my major. So it's like, not only are you moving to a different country, but you're choosing a very challenging major.
It's
So I was like, wow, how am I going to do this? And from like me literally on moving day, like from the week of welcome to my first day of classes, I just was filled with so much information that was very valuable to me, information that I needed, and just support from the teachers, them telling me, like, hey, this is what nursing entails, but we know it's a lot, but we're here to help you. We're here to support you. They pointed me in different directions for different pathways of things that I might need, like helping me with Canvas or giving me different websites for studying materials, helping me out in the library, telling me all the different textbooks and all the different extra materials that I may need to help me be successful. Um, and I just think it's so much more different than the kind of support I would be getting in America if I took nursing, because in America, like taking any subject really as your major, it's very individualized and they kind of don't acknowledge you as a person in that major. They kind of just like generalize it, and they don't really look at like where you're struggling or your personal successes unless you like are at the very end of trying to figure out what's going on. But here, like from the beginning, they were like, okay, if you have any issues in a certain area, let's address it. Um, if you feel that you need help with anything, like let's talk about it. We'll fix it together. And I really like that sense of community here. It really adds to the support system, and it made me feel that I could be a nurse someday.
Can you describe a typical day of a nursing student for us?
A typical day?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So I'd say it's very, it depends on the day. So there are some classes that repeat each time of the week. Um, I'd say for an international nursing student, because we have to learn Vietnamese in order to do our clinicals. So we have Vietnamese like 3 times a week, which I think is really helpful. I like the language so far. It's a little difficult, but I think with talking to like my peers and outside of the class is really helpful to me. Um, so like a typical day for a nursing student, you wake up, try to find food because I'm starving. Nutrition,
Yeah.
because you need to be able to focus in your classes. Um, and so like try to find food and then like go to class, then
Food again.
food again
Lunch.
because you need lunch. And then I see a lot of CHS students in the library all the time.
Yes.
I see them in the library. So if you don't go to the library at least once a day each week, I don't know what you're doing. And then you'll probably have another class, maybe 2 to 3 classes a day, maybe 4. Healthy lifestyle is probably somewhere in there. So I take yoga this semester. Yoga is hard.
It's hard.
I so underestimated my flexibility skills. But it's really relaxing, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be that relaxing, but I think it really helps me detox, especially when like midterms is coming up. So hopefully yoga this week will help me relax because I'm terrified for my chemistry exam. But yeah, healthy lifestyle somewhere in there, and then like having a nice dinner. Obviously, I think 3 meals a day is essential. Do I do that? No, I wouldn't. And then again, I see a lot of CHS students in the 24/7 room because we have a heavy workload. But I'm glad that we have the facility there because it's very helpful for us. And then of course studying for making sure that all the materials are embedded into your brain because obviously we need everything that we're getting taught. And then sleep. Not enough sleep. I'd say like a good maybe 7 hours is ideal. I probably get like 6 some nights. But yeah, that's probably a typical day-ish.
That's nice. I'm also curious about the curriculum of your nursing program. Are there many group projects where you have to do lots of collaboration with your friends, or
Mm,
there's mostly individual work?
okay. So last semester, it was more individual work, but I think at the beginning of you trying to understand what you're studying, I think the individual work is fine. Like, as we need to get our bearings for ourselves. And then starting this semester, we have had so many group projects, but I think it's really crucial for the curriculum because being being a healthcare professional, like you work as a team with other people, like whether you're a nutritionist or a psychologist or a doctor, a surgeon, um, or a pharmacist, you are going to work with all of those different types of people. So you have to be able to effectively and efficiently work in a team. And so we've had quite a few group projects in my core classes for nursing. In introduction to the professional nursing practice, we have like a project where we do group work each week, but I think it's really helpful so that we can like understand the proper ethics and morality of being a nurse. Also in my psychology and communications class, we have done a group project like every week. But I think in order for us to apply like how the nurse can effectively talk to patients or how the nurse can work as a team in the healthcare setting, that these group projects are really helpful to us. So I quite enjoy both the individual aspect and the group work aspect that they mixed into our curriculum so far this year. It's really helped me to retain the knowledge and feel very excited for what the future has to come.
Mhm. Are there any study groups or PLS sections that you find particularly helpful for you, especially as an international student?
Yes, actually. So in my cohort, for nurses, we tend to have like we'll like message in our group chat and be like, "Hey, do we want to do like a group study because we have an exam coming up, or do we want to book the lab to just go over some materials together and make sure that like we're all on the same page so that we're fully equipped and prepared for the upcoming exam." So we'll do stuff like that from time to time. And then we have peer advisors, and we have two for anatomy and physiology, Tang and Chinny, and they help us each week every Monday for like 2-ish hours. They'll help us go over some material. They'll give us some like extra stuff to help us learn the material better. And I think it's really sweet of them to dedicate their time to us and help us out as first year students. And then outside of just CHS, like being an international student, there's like a couple of clubs and associations. So there's Visa, there's VinUni Culture Club, and then there's just like the international group as a whole. Like we tend to do a lot of things together, just because it's a fun thing to do.
Thank you, Zion, for sharing your insight into your life at VinUniversity and also your fantastic journeys to become a nursing student here at VinUniversity. It's been a great pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I had fun.
Thank you.